What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Neon Vale. I'm your host, Cousin Ryan, and we have a special episode today. We're going to talk about what myself and my buddy did over this past weekend, first St. Patrick's Day weekend. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him in. Dwayne, what's going on?
Hello.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
I know we were going to do this a once a month thing, but since you and I hung out this past weekend, this is the first time that I've filmed right after we did what we did, so it'd be quick and dirty. We have everything we remember.
I like it.
So I'm excited because the first thing we want to talk about is something that we discussed on our last episode was the comedy shows, and we got super lucky Thursday night to go to an amazing show at the Jimmy Kimmel Comedy Club. Pop up some images right now for this to show everybody what we did. But let's talk about that because it is a hidden gem. That bar is incredible. And so
the bar is, it's like one of the best things about it in the sense where it's not the comedy show, but we showed up, maybe an hour early, or give or take a little bit on that. And only two in the bar, most reasonable prices on the strip for an actual bar that you can find. My drinks were $14 a pop. You got the happy hour for under $10 for all your drinks, basically.
Yep. Yeah. So what was it, like a list of beers for $5, certain shots for $6, appetizer food wise, like French fries, mini hot dogs, crap like that for $7.
Yeah, it was a steal.
It was
a 5, 6, 7 happy hour from 5 to 7, I think.
5 to 7, yeah.
What a deal, because decent food. Go in there, enjoy a couple of drinks right there on the link, and then go to your show.
And you don't need a ticket to get into the bar, which is amazing. So for those of you watching, go check it out. It's really fancy. There's couches, there's bar top. And not only that, but those bartenders were freaking incredible.
Right, definitely. They were entertaining, to say the least. Chuck was a good time, and I can't remember the other guy's name.
Kevin.
But
it was Kevin.
He was very interesting.
It was very Kevin. He was a Kevin for sure. But yeah, no, it was a great time, man. We had those guys. They hung out with us. They were quick about it. Granted, we were the only two in there for a while, but it was awesome. They
even once it got busy, even the service never really slowed down. They still catered to the people that went to the couches, people that coming up to the bars people were lining up for the show, and never a bad time.
And they had every kind of liquor imaginable. Like they had
a full bar.
So,
bar. And they had 4 TVs. So if you're wanting to just watch a game, even go check out the bar, because you could probably be the only ones in the bar.
Yeah, because the bar top had the big TV against the wall, and then they had the 3 other TVs along the couches and the tables, and there was no one there, and it was crazy. And talking to the bartender, talking to those guys, people forget that they can come in there and just chill. Like, you don't need a ticket to go into that bar.
I think that's a big thing. They should put a sign outside that says, not open bar, because wrong.
Different thing, yeah.
Bar is open to other attendants.
I guess it throws off because they have the box office desk right out front, so you think you have to check in. But that lady was super nice. She's like, just told us to go on in. We didn't have to worry about it, and
definitely
got to have a few drinks. Got to watch some March Madness.
It was fun. All the upsets.
Oh yeah! Oh my God! So many upsets that day. Too. It was crazy. And the funny thing was before you got there, I was hanging out, and I'll throw that picture up right now too. So where the fountain normally is on the Link Promenade, it wasn't there. They had it covered up. They had a big screen TV out there watching the game. It was crowded. People were standing shoulder to shoulder to watch those games. There was beer stands all out there.
It was a cool environment, honestly. They changed the entire Link Promenade to be March Madness.
Yeah, it was awesome. And honestly, it was funny that we didn't think about that until we were on our way down there to go see the show. And okay, and so we got to talk about the show because it was probably one of the best comedy shows I've seen in a long time. Unfortunately, I don't remember the host's name, the opener, and
I
it's
do know he worked for the Grand Canyon tour.
Yeah,
that's about what I remember.
He had some good jokes about that. I think I offended people by laughing so hard at some of the things he said, which is whatever. They were funny.
Cool.
But the two great things is Brian Shenanigans, who opened up, who was the second set. He was fantastic and perfect considering that it was St. Patrick's Day the next day. He hit that spot on.
He's hilarious. And he came out with a Star Wars shirt on. So
yeah. Super nice guy. And actually, and we'll talk about this too, but if you go to these shows, hang out afterwards because those guys are down there and it was really cool. But the reason we went to this show was a comedian who I hadn't seen in a really, really long time. His name popped up and I just had to go, and it was John Caparulo.
Caparulo, yeah.
Hilarious. That guy was awesome.
So funny. From the second he took the stage, started crying, laughing the entire time. I was wiping away tears left and right.
So was I. He had me dying the entire time. And it's so exciting that he's now a Las Vegas local. I know he's been here about 5 years, and he talks about it in his set, and his jokes were just awesome.
They really were. Highly recommend going and check it out if you get the opportunity to spend some time in the bar and go check out John Caparulo because he's hilarious. I mean, from start to finish, you're holding your side, laughing so much. I mean, if you're easily offended, you may walk out. There was a girl that walked out right in front of us. He said into his joke, so it's not for the faint-hearted, I guess, but hilarious.
And it's great because he actually had jokes. He didn't do just crowd work, which was amazing. He did some crowd work, talked to the crowd, but he had his own set, and it was fantastic and it was hilarious. And what was great about it too was when we showed up, we were 4 rows back, I think.
Yeah, easily.
Something like that from the set. I mean, it was right there, and it's a very, very great setup. That whole setup is amazing.
There's not a bad seat in the house. I mean, no matter where you're going to sit, either you're further back with the table. My only complaint was you're right on top of your neighbor just because I'm bigger.
You're a taller dude.
Yeah. So that was a struggle. But aside from that, I mean, you have not a bad seat, whether you're up close in front or a couple rows back, they're going to see you still. So you're not really going to be out of the target zone.
Well, what was great is so we got to have our drinks. We got our drinks down at the bar. And they don't serve if you're staying at the bar, they'll serve you glass. But as soon as you make your way up to the theater to where you go get your seats, it's all plastic cups, which is totally cool. But to be able to take your drink from the bar or walk upstairs with it and already have it in hand is perfect.
It's ideal. I mean, because then we don't have to wait for anybody to come bring us anything. Mm-hmm. However, obviously the girl next to us, she made the mistake of trying to order wine and then got all upset that she couldn't have a glass to go upstairs with. And
that's right. At the bar, yeah, that's right. So, and in the pictures and the videos that we're posting that are with the show, there are little menus on the little tables, the round top tables at your seats. And so the waitresses come around and serve you. And the people next to me, they got a bunch of drinks. They ended up getting popcorn delivered to them too. So it was a full service type thing.
Yeah, and service was quick on the inside in the grand scheme. You don't need to take the drink from downstairs. They were constantly walking around taking drink orders.
Constantly. Yeah, they take really good care of the people sitting in the audience. They did an incredible job, and everyone there was super nice. But John was the best part of that night. He crushed it.
And like you said, it was really cool that you can go down to the bar afterwards and just hang out with them, shoot the shit, talk with them, and get to know them a little bit better. And that was the cool part.
So I'm popping it up right now on the stream, but there's two pictures that Dwayne and I took with John. One serious, one normal picture, then one mean mug in the camera. So they're popping up right now. Super nice guy. We were probably one of the last ones in line, and so him and Brian kind of just bullshitted with us for a few minutes and talked, and super, super great. I highly recommend it. I think he's performing again tonight as this drops. He has another show, an earlier show that he's doing, and I recommend everyone go check out Jimmy Kimmel. And if you see John's name or Brian Shenanigan's name, go see them.
You're not going to have a bad time.
Worth it. 100% worth it.
And honestly, so Jimmy Kimmel's Club, the benefit of going early, we got to see the whole book. So they have a ton of other headliners coming through. So the club itself is a really cool spot to go check out.
For real, like they had Patrick Warburton, which I'm really stoked for, is going to be there for the rest of the March, and I think somewhat into April. Pablo Francisco did the night show the night we went, the later show. We didn't get to see him, but they have such great big names for Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. So I'm going to tout the crap out of them as much as I can because it was great. Fun. It was fantastic. And tickets were fairly cheap. I mean, what were we at? $35 for preferred seating, which is where we were, something like that. It was like 25 for a little further back. If I remember right, Patrick Warburton showed the day show because it was like middle of the day. It was like what, 2:30, something like that.
Yeah, it was like 2 o'clock. I think it started.
Yeah, and it was like $20.
Yeah,
so
25.
Yeah, so I mean, it was perfect. It's totally cheap. It's the way to go. I love that comedy club. I'm gonna go back. Even if we don't go to a show, we're going to that freaking bar.
That's the bar for sure. That's our new starting start. I mean,
and those fries were incredible. Those seasoned fries were amazing.
Smack them all.
I was kind of shocked. I mean, you never know what you're gonna get in places like that, but it was fantastic.
It was a cool spot. Definitely looking forward to the next time.
Yeah, and in and out, and for everyone, go check out that. That was the best thing we've done in a while, comedy show we've done in a while. So that was Thursday night. And that was a fun time. Even though right now, for those who are locals, traffic is a shit show on that side of the strip, on Trop and Flamingo and on the 15. But it's worth it if you can get back behind it and get to those.
There was a game that night too.
And there was a night's game. That's right. So March Madness, the construction and the game. Crazy.
I think it took me 40 minutes to get home, and I live 5 minutes away.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I beat you home, I think, too. Yeah. So that's because I live on the other side of town. I still beat you back, but
on the strip, yeah.
That was a great night. Anything else you want to mention about that? About the show that night?
I think we covered it all. I mean,
yeah.
Go do it. Is all I want to say.
Go do it. So, okay, the second part of this show is St. Patrick's Day. It is my favorite holiday of all time. You would think the ginger with me would have been there, but unfortunately he had to work. I took the day off. So I got to experience St. Patrick's Day on the Strip. And I kind of want to talk about it because it was intense. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
How'd you start it off?
So I started off my morning at 10 a.m. down on Mandalay Bay. I got to Mandalay Bay at 10 a.m. And I started out at Reraw and the Guinness store at Mandalay Bay.
Reraw at Mandalay?
Yeah. So you know how you go up the escalator at Mandalay and there's all those stores and restaurants up that way where we normally go for pizza and crap? Yeah. And I want to say, I might be pronouncing it wrong, but I'll have pictures up for it. But the Guinness store and then Reraw's right next to it.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
And it's an Irish pub. And so that was cool. It's a tiny, it's a tiny little restaurant pub type thing. It was really cool, packed in there when I went. So I was in there real quick and I bounced out to the Guinness store. And the Guinness store is amazing because they were doing Irish car bombs. They were pouring them right there. Yeah. So, and I'm popping it up on the screen right now. I took my Irish car bomb at 10:30 Friday morning to start out my day after a Guinness cup already at the Irish pub. So I was 2 Guinnesses deep. And it wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $12. I think is what I ended up paying for it. But they did it right. They poured the Guinness appropriately. They had the whiskey. They had it's not Bailey's. It's whatever the other one is. I can never remember what it is. I'll have to look it up later. But either way, and it was funny because there was a line of people in there and in front of me, and a lot of them didn't want a car bomb because for those of you who've never had an Irish car bomb, and I know it's kind of not the best thing to call it because of what it is, but it's a half pint of Guinness and you drop a shot of whiskey and the liqueur in it and you drink it, and the liqueur is a milk, so when you drop it in the beer, it starts to curdle. If you don't drink it fast enough, it looks kind of sketch. So there was one dude and a bunch of girls there, and he was trying to order it for all them, and they're like, we can't chug. And I flat out, I actually tapped the girl in front of me on the shoulder. I was like, look, if you can't chug it, don't do it. Don't drink it, because if you hesitate, it's going to freak you out. And I know you've never done a car bomb? Oh, dude.
No, I can't chug, so.
Right. Okay, next time we go out, I'll order one, and you'll see, because you drop it, and it starts to curdle, and it's really weird if you don't drink it fast enough. So, yeah.
So you have to eat it then at that point, huh?
Basically at that point, yeah. I mean, Guinness is already a thick beer, so what do you do? So I got the Irish car bomb there. I had my beer. I bought another Guinness, and started walking my happy ass up to one of my favorite places at New York, Nine Fine Irishmen.
Can't go
And
wrong.
we got there right when it opened. And I'll tell you right now, that place for St. Patrick's Day is amazing. I didn't go in. I went in, but just for a little bit. I didn't eat. I went to the bar, mainly because I just wanted, my Guinnesses for the day. I was going to just bounce around. And they had live music going on in there. They had all the games playing. And I got there right when it opened. So it opened at 11. So I was there about 11:15, 11:30. And there was maybe 10 people in line, but the place was already packed inside. So, people were moving in and out. Next to it, next to the entrance, there is another bar. There's an outside bar to it. And I went up and got my beer. And you know me, I'm a very personable person. I like to make friends everywhere I go. I cracked a joke to the dude behind me, and they ended up buying me beers for the next 45 minutes. So we hung out, and I had a few Guinnesses with some random people, some tourists.
That's the best thing about Vegas.
Oh, dude, I love it.
Right? You meet people from all walks, just have fun with everywhere you go. Everyone's on the same mission.
Mm-hmm. And I was dressed the part. I had my green chucks.
I hope so.
Up on the screen. But I also had my favorite St. Patrick's Day shirt that I wear. I don't wear it every year. I wear it every other year if I can. But it's the Kiss Me, I'm Brownish. It gets a lot of play. Talk about the greatest opener to talk to people, bro. The greatest.
Hilarious.
So, Nine Fine Irishmen. I think the guy we ended up buying beers for me. He bought me 2, and they were they weren't that expensive, for what it was. It was a Guinness in the middle of the day. I think it was $9. So between him and I, it was a little over 20 because he got something else. But we hung out there, watched the game. I went outside, and it popping up on the screen now. They blocked off the bridge at New York. You know how they have the bridge outside. So they blocked it off to where they had a bunch of beer stands out there, and you had to go through and show your ID to get in. They had games. They had a shuffleboard game. They had the 4x4, the checkers when you drop,
Connect 4?
Yeah, there you go. The Connect 4 game, the big one out there. And everyone was dressed up having a good time. And right outside of it, they had a bunch of tables set up to where you can sit down and watch March Madness. So there was a bunch of people out there wearing green, drinking their Guinnesses, their harps, what have you, watching basketball. And I just sat and just talked to people. You can have a really good conversation with the people around you. It's amazing.
Oh, easily. Everyone's got the common bonding thing is the drinking, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Just want to communicate and have a good time, hang out, enjoy the day. It's the best thing.
It really is. And so I hung out there for a bit. And for those of you who know me and who've watched the show, I love to walk on the Strip. I don't like taking the monorail. I know you think I'm crazy, but I love people watching. I love interacting with the people on the Strip. And it was funny because I got a lot of people who stopped me for my shirt, to have a good laugh, to talk. They loved it. And so it was a good time. So walking around the Strip with my Guinness in hand, which I love that we can drink on the Strip and walk around.
The best part. It's hard to go to other cities and try to leave a bar and what do you mean I have to chug this? I'm taking this with me.
Yeah. And it's acceptable to be somewhat drunk by 11:30, 11:45 on a weekday.
In the morning. No one even looks at you differently.
No. And they didn't. And so I walked back down to the Link, and that's kind of a trek from Mandalay Bay all the way down to the Link. My other favorite bar down there is O'Shea's. So I popped into O'Shea's real quick, got another Guinness. It was a very Guinness heavy day.
Yeah, has to be.
Very heavy day. But I hung out down on the Link Promenade and drank Guinness, and they had bagpipes all around down there performing. People all wearing green, wearing the most crazy amount of shit that I have seen, watching basketball and getting trashed. So
that's the best.
I don't think I've seen that much Guinness in one spot in a long time. You knew the people who had a Guinness because it was that dark thing.
You can't miss it. It's the easiest spot.
And every single bar spot had it. Everybody.
Of course.
So you had to. Tilted Kilt, which is an Irish, I think it's Scottish though. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, more Scottish.
It was packed. Crazy packed. The Link Promenade is my spot, dude. I love it on holidays like that. It was
somebody did it good too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They did it really. I mean, they had all the banners, they had the green up. They had They had beer stands everywhere. A lot of it was, so remember those before you go, a lot of those beer stands are cash only. So make sure you are carrying cash if you want to go buy those. Only the bars take debit and credit. So carry your cash if you want to.
Strip are going to charge you $10 or $15 for fees. So
yeah,
be mindful.
Yeah, so get your money first before you try to use an ATM on the strip. Because it charges you. I think some of the places are like $15.
Yeah, some of them are 15. Strip clubs are like 30. So
yeah, the strip clubs are a whole other level of insanity to try to get cash out.
Don't even do it.
No, my friends have done it. I've watched them spend more money on taking money out than they spent on the stripper almost. So it's like, come on, guys.
Guilty.
Dude, I love Fremont. Or I love not Fremont, but I love the strip. I love Fremont too. I didn't do Fremont this year because that's something I normally do, but I wanted to do the strip as a local. I wanted to go check it out.
I don't think I've ever done the strip on Fremont. I usually go to Fremont.
On St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah.
That's what I normally do. And I know we've done that in the past. We've done holidays on Fremont. So I wanted to do something different, check out the strip. And it was funny, the amount of people that you meet just, who are out there.
Yeah.
And they're there for basketball. It was a great time. Oh, dude, it was a blast. It was so much fun. But then walking back with another beer in hand to back to Mandalay Bay before I got myself home, it was a fun time. But I will say, there's one spot off the strip that I did go to, and you and I talked about this that day because you were surprised I made my way out there, is Joey's. Joey's Tavern in northern Las Vegas off the 95. Yes, I have a cousin that works there. That's the real reason I went. But they had the greatest deals that I'd seen all day. Their Guinness, their pint of Guinness was $5. It was a $5 pint of Guinness. Yeah. I mean, you can't get that in most places. That's yeah. And they were serving they had corned beef and cabbage. They had shepherd's pie. They had all of those things that was perfect.
And they're not an Irish bar. They're just a normal
but they did it for that. That's cool.
So
it was a cool idea. I think it was a good sell. Their Guinness was amazing. And that's the thing, is for those of you who don't drink Guinness, if you order it and you get it really fast, that means they didn't pour it right, because they're supposed to let it sit. Pour some, let it sit, finish the pour. That head needs to be at least 2-3 fingers, to be a good pour right at the lip of the cup. It's the way to do it. Have you been to Joey's?
No.
Okay. So you need to check it out. It's a hidden spot right off the 95. If you don't know where it's at, it's
by like a horse feed spot, right? Kind of.
I think so. Yeah. It was like 95.
I drove by it one time.
It's right off of Craig, 95 and Craig. So, dude, it was cool. Like, they were really good about it, and they weren't busy yet. It was like 2:00 in the afternoon, so they weren't crazy yet. I took the day. I took a day off for a reason. So, but I didn't. Okay, and I didn't tell you this, and I know this is gonna be funny. So, for all of those who've been to Vegas and walked the strip, you see all the showgirls and all of the different people out there trying to, take a picture with you. I had a few of them stop me to because they saw the shirt and they thought they could, wriggle me in to get a picture. But I'm a local. I know how this works. There was one girl, and it made me laugh so freaking hard, dude, that she stopped me, read my shirt. She goes, "Hey, I'm brown too," and took her feather boa and wrapped it around my head. And she just started talking to me because she didn't believe me that I was a local. And so when I started telling her where I lived and what I was doing, all that stuff, we just started bullshitting. She didn't believe me. She's, "Oh, well, get a picture with me." I was like, "No, it's fine. I have enough pictures." She goes, "Well, not with me. I'm new." And I was like, "Okay." And I'm still not going to get a picture with you because why?
No need to.
$20 to take a quick picture.
Tips are appreciated.
Yeah, but let's be real. And I know some of the girls who work it and do it, and I get it. I understand, but $20 is their minimum. For them to do it. And some of them
they pull out some stacks of cash, so they make good money.
They do, and some of them aren't nice about it.
No,
at all.
No. Well, they work for agencies, is what it is. So people think that people working the strip because they can. They're actually 1099 employees working for a company that rent these costumes out and then get told to go walk the strip. So they got dues to pay. So they got to.
Well, they have from what I remember, from the people I know, they have a minimum quota they have to meet. And it's normally, if I remember, it was $500 a person of the group. So $500 per person on the team. and they're not out there that many hours. Like,
No.
So if you're in the middle of the day, you're kind of screwed.
Especially when it's hot and stuff like that too.
Yeah. Oh, no. Talk about being lucky that it was not hot out this past weekend, dude. It was not hot.
Beautiful this weekend, yeah.
It was fantastic. I loved it.
A little cold at night, but during the day, beautiful. It's the best time of year in Vegas.
I was just out in a t-shirt and jeans. I didn't need a sweatshirt or anything, so it was perfect. Just walking around like that. It was a good time. It was a really good time. Those poor girls, though, they have to do that. That can't be fun. That can't be fun at all for them.
I mean, they keep doing it, so it must be somewhat fun.
I guess, but like you had some. I had some friends here last year, and I remember one of my buddies got a little grumpy, and I had to calm him down. But it was one of the ones who were dressed up as cops, and she like hit him with her spanked him with her baton after he said no, and then she handcuffed him. Like she walked up and clipped the handcuff on his wrist, and he got pissed. Like he got mad. I get it, but dude, it's Vegas, and this is their job. Like just roll with the punches, man. Just roll with it.
Just say no, thank you. Move on.
Yeah. Well, he did say no, thank you, and then she snapped him with the handcuff. So I mean, I get it, but don't be too aggressive about it.
Exactly. I mean, the handcuff probably been crossing the line a little bit, but
a little bit. But it was cool. There was quite a few of them out there for the amount of people that were on the strip. There was a lot of those showgirl type styles out there.
I don't think there's really lack of an abundance of them ever.
No, but I don't know. I would think there was like maybe one or two groups of girls that were dressed up in like green and like a St. Patty's Day themed.
Well, that's surprising then. That would make more sense if they were all in green and stuff. At least.
Yeah. That's what I thought too. I thought, at least have more of that, but there wasn't that many. And it was funny that you saw some tourists who weren't from the States, who were newer here, didn't know why everyone was wearing green. I actually heard someone ask, like, what's going on? Like, what's the deal? And then they realized it was St. Patrick's Day because, it's an American themed holiday, so not everyone celebrates it.
Isn't that something?
It's hilarious, dude. People are freaking hilarious. And then this weekend got crazy. I didn't go out Saturday to the parties because I did my partying on Friday with St. Patrick's Day because I like to do it on the day. But a lot of the bars across town, Parkway Tavern, the one we talked about on our last episode, the one over off of 215 in Flamingo, had a giant St. Patrick's Day party almost all day long. Yeah.
I didn't even see it.
Yeah, a couple of my cousin went, and some of our mutual friends were there, and they invited me a little late. They were already going partying before they sent me the invite. So I was like, you guys are already, by the time I get there, they will not be sober enough to.
Exactly. I have to chug a couple drinks to catch up. I can't understand what you guys are saying yet.
But you want to go run around. Yeah. It's just like, I just got here and they're ready to go. So I was like, no, it's okay. I'll party local. I have two Irish bars near me, Magoo's and another one that's Magoo's is something else. But there's a few Irish bars right next to us. So I went into there and had corned beef and cabbage with some friends and drank some more Guinness. So it was a great St. Patrick's Day. I didn't need to do it on Saturday. I'm a one day. I'm gonna party hard and go hard one day and then call it good.
Yeah, typically, I can't do back to back anymore.
Well, I mean, I did Thursday and Friday, so it was a little tough, but
yeah. And those are the school nights too. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that is why I took Friday off, because Thursday night having the shots of tequila and the beers, and then vodka sodas. Yeah, I needed the day. I needed to sleep in a little bit that next day. That's for freaking sure. But dude, it was St. Patrick's Day is such the best time. So
it's a good time.
I had to go do it. I had to come on and talk about it. The pictures are, we showed the pictures during the show, and it really just shows like Vegas has it all.
And always in rotation. You always have something new in Vegas. Is the best thing. New restaurants, new shows, new bars, new experiences. It's the best.
Just walking through Mandalay Bay, there was a new restaurant getting ready to open, and so I want to go check it out next time we can, because there's new is awesome. Trying something new and just seeing if it's going to last or not. Plus, being able to come back on here and talk about it. Hell yeah, dude!
Like the Rogue Room at Red Rock.
Yeah. We need to hit the Rogue Room for sure. We'll have to get a little fancy for it, so it is what it is. But it looks fun. And For those watching, Red Rock Casino is on the west side of Las Vegas. It's a Stations Casino owned property. So if you gamble and you like Palace Station or what are the other ones? Boulder Station.
Boulder.
Yeah. Power. What's the one in Henderson?
Boulder or Sunset?
Yeah, Sunset Station. Yeah. So, they're all this, so if you play at those ones, you can go play there. But that one is awesome. That Red Rock Casino is like,
I like Red Rock, more upscale station casino.
It's a top tier one for sure. Some really good restaurants, good bars, and there's always something to do over there. It's close to downtown Summerlin, so if you stay at the Red Rock Casino, you can walk to downtown Summerlin. You can walk to the Aviators baseball stadium, which played yesterday as well. Yeah, they had another game yesterday, and it's a cool area. That whole area is very missed by tourists. So if you are a fan of casinos and want to be off the strip, go check out Red Rock. Because not only do you have the casino, but you have the Red Rocks. What, half hour, 45 minutes away from there?
Not from Red Rock. From Red Rock, it's like 10, 15 minutes away.
Is it really? Okay. I've driven it before, but it's been a while, so I've just driven through it and hung out up there. But there's a lot to do. The hiking to go do up there, the trails are amazing.
That's what I can do is hiking. I used to hike those trails all the time.
But not when it's hot, I would hope, because that's like direct sunlight out there.
I know. I've made some poor choices when it comes to the sunlight. You live and you learn,
Did you get to do anything for St. Patrick's Day, or did you live vicariously through me?
So I lived vicariously through you, but I also went to my parents' neighborhood because my dad was performing in their neighborhood. So I spent over there for a couple hours and watched him play his guitar and music for for his neighborhood committee. And they had a couple food trucks set up there, so it was just a fun time. And then I didn't do anything else Friday. Saturday, I golfed in the morning. I hit up where did I go? Las Vegas Golf Club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not my favorite course. And then I don't think I did much else on Saturday.
No, yeah,
I didn't really do St. Patrick's Day, unfortunately.
It
was like my worst St. Patrick's Day as an Irish person ever.
But and that brings me to the thing. I wanted next year for St. Patrick's Day. I want to do Water Street. We need to hit Water Street because they always have that parade. The Sisters of Aaron, or the Daughters of Aaron.
They did the parade the weekend before, though.
Yeah, that was weird. I was kind of surprised by that.
I was gonna go, but I was in Tivoli Village all day.
Oh, that's right. So for everyone watching, if you come down, if you're going to come down for St. Patrick's Day, look it up. But it's like the Daughters of Aaron. It's a parade that they do at Water Street in Henderson. And Henderson, that whole Water Street area becomes a giant party for St. Patrick's Day. Because of all the bars.
Cool area,
yeah, the bars and restaurants down there are always doing something.
Yeah, definitely.
Live music and all. It's funny, and I want to bring this up, is I had people reach out to me after your episode about golfing in Mesquite. So you did convince some people to go check out Mesquite. They want to check it out. So
sign me up. I'm going with.
Yeah, I think one of us is going to get hit up because, to get the local prices, the Nevada local prices.
I'll go. I mean, right? Say less. I'm in.
Yeah. 45-minute drive. Let's do it. Let's go.
Mesquite's fun. It's a fun time.
I love Mesquite.
Yeah.
But St. Patrick's Day, dude, I had such a fun time.
We got Cinco de Mayo next. That's your holiday.
Cinco de Mayo next. We'll do that. What else? Something else is coming up really soon here in town. I can't remember now, but Cinco de Mayo might be the next big one that we do. Although I've never celebrated Cinco de Mayo in Las Vegas, even though I've been here. I would imagine there's gonna be stuff to do.
Yeah, there's always something to do. I usually just go to a Mexican restaurant and party.
What's your favorite Mexican restaurant in town?
It's between El Dorado and Javier's at the Aria.
Okay.
It's not like real Mexican food by any means. It's whitewashed for sure.
And talking to the freaking vegetarian of the group, really?
Yeah. Well, you're the one that asked me which one I want to go to. So I'm going to go
I know. And I
vegetarian and has the better alcoholic drinks. Honestly, is the reason go.
I regretted it as soon as I asked the question because I was like, no, this is gonna. He doesn't freaking know.
However, I do get the same feedback from everyone that I take to El Dorado or Javier's. They are well respected as long as you're willing to pay for it. It's not your street tacos from a taco stand. It is a high-end Mexican spot, but it's worth it. It's great
So
time.
where is El Dorado?
There are 3 locations. There's one near me at Sapphire, basically on the strip, Sammy Davis. There's one in Central Point, which is by IKEA in Summerlin. And there's one in Tivoli Village, which is Northwest Vegas.
Wait, there's one by me? That IKEA on the 215?
It's over there now. They just opened it.
Okay. That's not too far from me. So that IKEA is not too far from me.
Like what, 10 minutes?
If that, yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was that close. It's a cool one. They have it's the only one that has the gaming tops.
Oh, really? And because the one at Sapphire, and Sapphire is
a strip club.
There we go. Don't bury the lead there, Dwayne.
Hey, well, I get leads from there.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Well, I'll have to check it out. I haven't been. I know you've wanted me to come down to that one a lot. I'm very picky with my Mexican food because I'm brown. So, but I'll have to give it. I'll have to give it a shot. I get to find a place here that I like.
If we go to the one here at Sapphire, we get hooked up all the time, or I do at least. I'm there all the time. So I'm not at Sapphire, but at El Dorado. It just happens to be next door.
Sure, whatever. Keep telling yourself that. We'll talk about the strip clubs later. It's fine.
Different day.
I actually saw someone asked today on social media what is one of the best strip clubs in Las Vegas because they want to go and they come visit, and I immediately said the Peppermint Hippo is my spot. I love it mainly because it's a ripoff of Spearmint Rhino.
Yeah, well, it's a South Park reference too.
Oh yeah, huh? That's right.
Yeah. I guess last week they premiered the newest episode of South Park there even.
Oh really? Oh, that's awesome. I missed that. There's billboards going up for the Peppermint Hippo now, and that's
so fun. I haven't gotten there yet, surprisingly enough.
I don't like most strip clubs. I'm not a huge fan normally, but this one was amazing. The whole setup was cool, and bottle service. And we'll have to talk about that, but it was $500 for bottle service and a table for 5 of us. And no, and it was perfect. It was right there next to the main stage, right next to the bar. So we were, we got taken care of. We ended up ordering 2 bottles, but it was great, dude. It was a great spot because you didn't have to get a lap. You're right there on the stage. So if you just want to throw money up on the main stage, do it. But
that's the best.
It was a cool spot. And we got a ride too. So that $500 included not only our entrance into the place and the bottle service, but they picked us up and took us. So
could have phrased that a little differently. I feel like talking about the strip club got a ride and all of a sudden with the $500.
What happens behind the closed curtain happens behind the closed curtain, dude. We don't talk about that shit.
100%.
100%.
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, right?
Well, I mean, that's what the show is supposed to put on its head, that theory, but whatever.
That's the old slogan anyway. What's the new one?
What is the new slogan?
I can't stand it.
No, and whatever it was, and I'll have to look it up, but whatever it is, it wasn't memorable.
No, it's not.
Like at all.
They're still trying to use it, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, and then they just tore down the sign of the McCarran Airport, and they're putting up the Harry Reid Airport signs now.
I'm still calling it McCarran.
Honestly, that's all I'm going to know it as.
Yeah, who knows it by Harry Reid? People call it Las Vegas International Airport is what they call it.
Because it is international. Did you know, fun fact, did you know that originally they were going to build it towards Prim?
I did not know that.
Yeah, originally they were going to build that airport out by Prim and not in downtown Las Vegas, near the Strip, because of it being an international airport. They were trying to hope to ease traffic congestion, and but they ended up not doing it, which I'm glad because that drive through Prim
it would have been miserable.
It would suck.
I definitely enjoyed the 10-minute ride to the airport when I'm going somewhere.
What is this called? So it's Las Vegas's Slogan, thank you. Let's see. New slogan is you know what? Whatever happened to your stays here? That doesn't seem right.
That's what it is, yeah.
How it is?
I think it is, yeah. It's something. No, that's. It's something stupid though. New.
And I'll edit this part out. But
Yeah, right. What happens here only happens here. That can't be it. Yeah, I guess it is. What happens here only happens here.
Oh yeah, okay. The new slogan is "What happens there only happens here." I don't, not 100% a fan of that.
No, I don't like it.
Better. Whatever. They're trying new things. I get it, but I've lived in those places. Yeah. I've lived in Seattle. I've hung out a lot in California, in Southern California, LA area. I've seen the same shit happen in those places too. So it's not 100% true. Granted, the only thing that Vegas has for it is being able to drink on the Strip. And that's the misconception, though, is once you leave the Strip or Fremont, you're not supposed to. Once you get off that main road, you can get nailed for drinking.
I will say, and there are some bars that will let you take to-go drinks, as long as you're not inside Paradise city limits.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Gotta love Vegas. You gotta love Nevada in general.
I've gotten many to-go drinks to go from bars where I was bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Well, dude, it's the greatest thing, and
right.
honestly, being able to drink around here is great. But kind of going back to what we talked about for St. Patrick's Day, I spent maybe like $30 the entire day because of how many people who bought me beers. So, like,
that's a steal.
Yeah, dude, it was great.
Knowing the prices, you did it right.
Yeah, exactly. And just making friends. People, if you come to Vegas, just talk to people. If you're a personable person, just make a joke. That's because that's all I did was crack a joke at the guy behind me. That's all I freaking did. And then I hung out with him.
Or even if you're not sociable in your hometown, come to Vegas and try it out, because what do you have to lose? Nothing. What do you have to gain? Maybe a new friend, maybe a free beer. You're
probably most likely never going to see these people again.
Yeah, most likely. And I would say 99% not going to see these people again, unless you end up making real good friends with them.
I mean, granted, I ended up bumping into the guy later because he hung out at New York after I left. And so when I walked back, I bumped into them, that party again. But that's so rare.
Same day is not too uncommon, especially if you're trying to walk the same direction. It's like the amusement park mentality. It's like you start walking one direction at Disneyland and you see the group around you. All of a sudden, you see that same group all day long because you guys are on the same path, essentially.
Ever since I was a kid, I've had that happen to where because everyone has their loop.
Yeah, you go in some kind of pattern. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've made friends doing that too before. Photobombed a lot of people's pictures.
You're in the background. They don't even know you're there, but years later they're looking back and it's like,
is that the same guy? Is he flipping us off? What the hell?
Is he licking us?
It was a great time. I'm a huge fan of holidays on the Strip because we're going to do, I know this year I want to do New Year's Eve as well on the Strip. I've yet to do it, and I've always wanted to. I've done it often. I did New Year's Eve at the Palms one year.
That'd be fun.
That was cool. It was rooftop party.
You're at the Rio because
I stayed at the Rio.
Because that one year I was supposed to come to the Voodoo Lounge with you, and I didn't.
Yeah. So we ended up not doing the Voodoo Lounge. We ended up going to the Palms that night and got in on the roof. And it was cool. It was like $150 per person, and it was unlimited drinks until midnight, from when it opened until midnight. And so I was obviously, I stayed at the Rio, so I didn't have to drive anywhere. So I was pretty trashed by the time midnight came around. But it was funny because you got to watch a lot of the guys who are a group of guys hit on a group of girls and watch them strike out at midnight, and none of them kiss each other because it's just that awkwardness in the group, and it's really funny to watch because someone's sloppy drunk by that point and just makes an ass of themselves. So, but it was great. You got to see the Strip, the fireworks. So I want to do the actual Strip though for New Year's Eve. I've done Fremont for New Year's Eve, and that was fun.
So when you say you want to do the Strip, do you want to have a view, or do you just want to be in the crowd?
In the crowd.
Because you get stuck at one point.
Yeah. I mean, I would stay down there. I would want to get a room down there, at least a 2-bed, whatever room. Yeah. So if we've got a group of us down there, I'd like to stay because they shut down the strip. You can't drive on it. You can only walk on it.
Until you can walk the entire road is what it is.
Yeah.
I've been stuck in that nonsense.
And it's shoulder to shoulder. It's wild. And I want to do it at least once. I want to go do it just at least once.
I would want to make sure you're somewhere. If you want to watch the fireworks, you want to be somewhere. Like walking it, you don't really move. But I've been in that nonsense traffic crowd, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
My goal is the suite on top of one of the towers of Caesar's Palace. I've been there for a party with clients before, and it wasn't anything special. It was just they had a party on top in that suite. The balcony's outside. You overlook the entire strip.
That'd be dope.
Kind of the similar view from The Hangover is what it really was. Yeah. And that's where I'd want to do it because that had the greatest view I've seen in a long time.
That'd be ideal.
So we have to find people we know. We're not rich enough for that, but we'll make friends.
Not yet.
We'll make friends. But yeah, man, it was a good weekend, and I wanted to come out and talk about it and kind of tell everybody about that because this is what I want the show to do. Is I wanted to be able to tell my stories that I won't get in trouble for. So that was one of those stories I can tell without getting in trouble. So we'll have to go do it again. But the comedy club is number 1. St. Patrick's Day is number 2 thing we did. It was a great weekend. And I had a great time talking about it and a great time doing it. So
definitely. Always a good time.
And I'm glad you came out to talk to me about it because I didn't want to talk about the comedy club by myself because, a little one-sided, but I'm glad that you agreed that it was a totally worthwhile show.
It was wild. I've been telling everybody all weekend about it, honestly. Telling everyone to go see it.
Oh, I've been telling everybody. I'm like, I got to take a picture with John and talk to him. He's a cool guy. He's short, but
he's really short. I mean, I kind of expect it. I mean, everyone's short to me, I guess, but
yeah, you're a behemoth. But I mean, he was shorter than me, so I mean that says something.
And that does say something because you're short.
That says something. Well, right on, dude. Like I said, I wanted to make this a quick and down and dirty show. We went a little longer than I really thought we were going to because we had a good time talking about it. Yeah. But is there anything you want to throw out there before we call it a night?
Not this time.
All right, everybody. Thank you again for joining us on our special episode, St. Patrick's Day episode of Beyond the Neon Veil. I'm Cousin Ryan. That's my homie Dwayne. We will see you guys next time. Keep a lookout. Make sure to click like, subscribe, do all that fun shit. Not only my show, but Benny and Moose Save America. And actually, in a few weeks, my Twitch team is going to be on the trivia show against What the Show. Keep an eye out for that. I think it's going to drop the first week of April. So keep an eye out. It was a fun time. So thanks again, everybody, and we'll see you all later.
Take care.